Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's episode of CoinNewsExtra interview. Joining us today is a gentleman all the way from Spain. He is Joseph Noott. Joseph Noott is the blockchain architect at United African Blockchain Association. Joseph, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
Okay, today we'll be talking about the future of blockchain and cryptocurrency in Europe. So Joseph will be helping us to talk about the topic and to throw more light about it so that we know what actually the future of blockchain and cryptocurrency looks like in Europe. So Joseph, could you please just give us a little brief about yourself?
Oh yeah, so thanks for having me. As you said, my name's Joseph Noott. I'm currently working with the United Africa Blockchain Association, but I've been working with different blockchain companies in Europe for the last, say, 2 to 3 years. It's been very interesting. I actually found my sort of passion grew for blockchain during my last years of university when I was studying politics and economics. And for me, when I started to sort of dig deeper and really understand the potentials of the technology, I saw it was a real great fit and a real great overlap with the things that I was already learning in the economic fields.
Okay, that's an interesting background. So we are moving straight to the topic for the day, the future of Bitcoin, blockchain, and cryptocurrency in Europe. So Joseph, do you think there is a good future for blockchain and cryptocurrency in Europe?
Yeah, definitely. I think I think it's not even a question of if, really. It's just when and how. I think we're already seeing the process happening. We're already seeing maybe smaller countries that can be more flexible, such as Malta and Estonia, have already set up a lot of very easy ways for you to get a blockchain company running or for you to get started. We're seeing now much larger nations like France and Germany catching up and really starting to position themselves as future powerhouses. Europe recently passed a new form of regulation called the Fifth Anti-Money Laundering Directive, and essentially this is a new piece of regulation that tries to formalize crypto exchanges, and in this turn it tries to give more security to customers who will be using those exchanges. And I think it's a good step. It's a step in the right direction, definitely.
Okay, that's interesting. There is future for blockchain and cryptocurrency in Europe. So still going down on the topic. What's still on the future of blockchain? What is the current state of blockchain and cryptocurrency in Europe? With coming from, you made mention earlier on about regulation, now coming from innovation and adoption. How is the future like now?
I think we'd be lying to say that the world is still not in the early stages of blockchain adoption and cryptocurrency adoption, especially in Europe or as well as in Europe. But there is some real nice movement. There is a lot of people that are getting very deep into it now. And yeah, I definitely think that we're going to carry on using it. We're going to try and carry on being at the forefront. But I see a lot of people who are sort of waiting and saying, let's wait for regulation. But in my opinion, waiting for regulation is not the right way to do it. We need to give them things to regulate. So ourselves as blockchain engineers, as blockchain architects, we need to be giving government clarity on what things should be regulated. The government already have their own responsibilities, their own tasks, and it is sort of naive of us to expect them to fully understand blockchain and cryptocurrencies and how they will be used. So we are in the sort of Wild West starter period where we're going to have to try it. We're going to have a lot of trial and error. And I think we're going to start to see the more use cases and the more things actually used, it will be easier for governments then to formalize the actual industry.
The state of blockchain and cryptocurrency in Europe, how is the adoption like?
Growing. And I think the problem is when you're involved with it, you seem to think that everyone around you is involved as well, or that everyone knows about it. But it's steadily growing, but there is still a lot of confusion. There's still a lot of scams or a lot of sort of misinformation going about. I think a lot of people still see cryptos as like speculation or ways to earn money, which I think was never the original plan and is nothing to do with their sort of desired aim. So I think with the growth of stable coins, we've just seen China has released more news about their central bank digital currency. And there is countries such as France, the United Kingdom, and many other countries they have task forces that are leading this stablecoin development. So we definitely have an increased adoption of cryptocurrencies, but there's still more people who don't know about it than do, I would say.
Okay. There are still many more people that doesn't know about it. Okay.
Yeah.
We are moving down to what is currently facing the world, the coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah.
How is the impact on crypto and blockchain in Europe, and how do you think it will affect the future of this space in the future in Europe?
Yeah. I mean, it's a good question. So I think there's positive outcomes and negative outcomes that can come from it. Some of the positive things are that a lot of the current blockchain or cryptocurrency companies are already working remotely. So in that sense, they are able to maybe even work harder now and work more now. We've already seen that certain countries have started to move away from cash payments. So this also could increase cryptocurrency usage as people prefer not to use cash that could potentially contain diseases or contain problems, but instead they want to send money virtually. So yeah, I think Corona has the potential to increase the adoption of blockchain and cryptocurrency, but then of course it also has this sort of net slowdown on everything, which we have to understand will slow down a lot of things also.
Okay.
Also in terms of things like government funding, of course now the government funding much more pressing matters or much bigger priorities in terms of public health, whereas before they may have been more likely to spend money on research and development in these areas. So in a sense, I think research and development money or funds will go down, but the sort of energy of the crypto space and the blockchain space will be increasing now.
That's very interesting. Before we round it up on the show, you are the blockchain architect at United African Blockchain Association.
Yeah.
So, how are you coming from Europe to Africa? How do you see the two ecosystems?
I mean, they share a lot of similarities. We're both definitely in early stages. I think blockchain and cryptocurrency is a great sort of opportunity for countries that may not have been as developed in tech formats as others, because it offers a chance to just sort of to leapfrog the traditional systems and jump straight onto blockchain. I see a really big enthusiasm for blockchain and cryptocurrency in Africa, which I think is great. I think a lot of the core principles of blockchain, such as transparency, such as attempting to alleviate certain inequalities we have in our society, I think these are very well understood by a lot of African developers. And yeah, I think there's definitely a healthy ecosystem in both. I think the thing that Africa lacks, which Europe has a bit more of, is a sort of healthy ecosystem for developers to exchange ideas. And this is part of what we're trying to do at UABA, is to grow this African developer space so the different projects in Africa can actually use African developers for their projects. And it's definitely coming on. Yeah, I'm very impressed by the enthusiasm I'm seeing.
Okay, that's very, very interesting. Trying to help Africans to use their developers when it comes to blockchain and
Yeah,
cryptocurrency.
I mean, we have a lot of times where African companies will contact developers in Europe or the States, and us at UABA, we think it's very important to have the sort of whole ecosystem to be able to manage from Africans, and I'm very privileged to be able to play a part in this. And yeah, I definitely think that it's on the right tracks, and we're seeing every day more and more people be interested. We currently have a course running, Train the Trainer by UABA, which has been well received, and I think Africa's on a very good path.
That's very interesting. Yeah, thank you very much, Joseph Noott, for joining us today.
No problem. Thank you for having me.